$29 million. That's how much worth of NFTs was stolen across 6 major collections. And it's not just NFTs. Attackers are now more ruthless than ever, and they will use any crack they find to get a hold of your data or even your whole online identity, your accounts and everything. So in today's video, I'll be walking you through some of the measures I take to improve my digital security. And I hope by the end of this video, you adopt some or even all of these measures if you are not taking them already. Of course, this is not the end all be all for your online security, but it's a start. The basics you should always cover and ensure you have set. Alright, let's jump in. First things first, make sure Firewall is activated. This should always be the first thing you make sure to check, especially when you're setting up a new or a refreshed computer. A Firewall monitors both incoming and outgoing traffic to and from the system and blocks any suspicious traffic coming from an attacker or a malware. This is always the first line of your defense against any suspicious activity on your network. Number 2. Use a password manager. There was a time when I used to use a single password for all my accounts, and the password wasn't even that strong. That was before I discovered password managers. At that time, if a bad actor had gotten hold of any of my password or a password from any of my accounts, they would have gotten hold of all my accounts. Even thinking of that right now is scary. And I'm not alone in this. Majority of people have one password for all their accounts, and if I were to guess, I would say it's password 123. And yes, that probably includes you. So if you are not using a password manager, please start doing that now. This allows you to have separate passwords for all your different accounts on the internet. No longer using password 123 or your grandma's middle surname spelled backwards as your password anymore. All you need is a single master password that you will need to remember. And make sure it's also strong. Once you have that master password, you don't need to remember any of the other passwords. Most password managers have autofill, so it will just automatically fill any account for you. Also, you don't have to worry about that one master password getting compromised and all your other passwords getting out. Almost all password managers encrypt your passwords in such a way that not even the company can see what your password is. So if one password gets leaked, you can just easily go in and change it. I use Bitwarden as my password manager of choice, and is open source, so you can go in or anyone can go in and see what sort of encryption they are using for the passwords. Dashlane even goes as far as letting you know that you lose your master password, you lose all your password. There's no forget password in that one. Number 3, use a sign-in with Google, Apple, Facebook, Twitter, etc. if available. Sometimes when you go onto a site, you will see these buttons that say sign with Apple, sign in with Google, sign in with Amazon, and so on. This way of signing in offers you 2 main advantages. Firstly, it's better to just use any of these buttons instead of having to create a new account for the app or website. It automatically pulls the details from your Apple account or your Google account or any other platform you decide to log in with. Secondly, most or even all of these websites use OAuth login, which is way more secure than any password you'll probably ever use. Also, we're moving to a passwordless future. Apple just introduced passkeys in WWDC and they are ditching passwords. Microsoft have already implemented their passwordless authentication a long time ago, so who wants passwords anymore? Okay, moving on to number 3. Hope you are taking notes. Use 2-factor authentication. Getting a good password manager and a strong password isn't the end all be all for your account to be safe. Data breaches happen almost every day nowadays, and your data, including your email and password, may be part of the data being compromised. When your login details get compromised, they will be most likely sold in the dark web, and before you know it, your whole account might get compromised as well. I've had a similar experience when the account details on one of my accounts got compromised and the whole account almost got hijacked. Luckily, I got an email just on time to be able to change the password and enable 2-factor authentication immediately. 2-factor authentication adds a layer of security to your account, so you have to verify that it's really you logging in before you get access. This could be a code sent to you through SMS, email, or preferably an authenticator app like Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, or Twilio's Authy. I recently switched from Google Authenticator to Authy because firstly, it saves my tokens on the cloud, so I can be able to access them anywhere, whether from my computer or from my phone. And secondly, when you're using Google Authenticator, it saves everything on your device. So if even by mistake you uninstall the app or you change your phone, that's it. You are logged out of your account. Lastly, ensure every website you are visiting is HTTPS secure. So whenever you visit a website, always check the leftmost side of the sidebar. You'll see a small lock that indicates that the website is HTTPS encrypted, and that means every data you send from your computer to the website and back is encrypted. When it's not encrypted, you'll see a small exclamation mark indicating that the website uses only HTTP, which means any data that you send back and forth is not encrypted and can be intercepted by a middleman. And that means you shouldn't put any sensitive details, whether password, credit card details, and so on. There are some web browsers that encrypt HTTPS on every website you visit. For example, I'm using the Brave browser, and I've set it that every time I visit an unencrypted website, it automatically upgrades it. It upgrades the protocol to HTTPS. So everything is encrypted. One last crucial part I realized I've missed after filming is always make sure to double check the URL you are clicking on before clicking on it, or better yet, just type it in yourself in the browser and make sure it's a genuine URL coming from wherever it is coming from, whether it is from a company email or wherever else. Make sure it's the genuine URL and not something fake that looks similar to the genuine URL. And that's it. Those are 5 simple ways to improve your online security. Hope you'll take the time to implement these measures. Some might seem like a bit of an inconvenience at first, but trust me, they go a long way. And you know what goes a long way too? Liking this video and subscribing to the channel. The web is an exciting but at the same time a scary place. So stay safe out there, everyone. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.